Last week, the United States Supreme Court overturned the laws in 10 states that permit the use of marijuana for medical purposes. There was something in this ruling for almost everybody to hate. Liberal activists complained that the ruling means the feds are going to go out and start rounding up sick people. The constitutionalists argue that the ruling violates the 10th Amendment. The 10th Amendment says, "The powers not delegated to the United States by the Constitution, nor prohibited by it to the states, are reserved to the states respectively, or to the people." But the laws prohibiting marijuana cultivation and trafficking are not drug laws. They are laws regulating interstate commerce, which is a federal jurisdiction. We conducted a poll on my website, hallindsey.com, concerning the decision. The results absolutely astonish me. The vast majority of visitors to my website are conservative Christians. But when asked their opinion of this Supreme Court decision, the majority opposed it. More than a third agreed with the statement, "I disagree with it. Sick people should be entitled to whatever works." 20% either agreed with the statement, "I disagree with it, marijuana never hurt anybody," or the statement, "I vehemently disagree." It is an issue of states' rights. Only 18% agreed that marijuana is classified a dangerous drug for a reason. And only a paltry 15% of our conservative Christians' readership agreed with the statement, "I agree with it." There are other methods of administering the drug than smoking it. Proponents just want to get high. The fact is that the active ingredient in marijuana, THC, can either be synthesized or extracted from the plant and converted into a pill form. As a pill, it does everything that smoking the plant does, except get its user high. None of the vocal proponents of medical marijuana are arguing in favor of THC pills. Why not? One would think the answer is obvious. Marijuana in pill form is a buzzkill. One would think that that might provide a little insight into the real reason behind the legalization effort. The public's attitude about legalizing marijuana for medical purposes while leaving in the intoxicating effect is entirely in keeping with the overall outline of Bible prophecy for the last days. The word sorceries appears 5 times in the King James Bible, twice in the Old Testament and 3 times in the New. The Hebrew word translated as sorceries is kashef, which means magic arts. In 2 other places, kashef is translated as witchcraft. In Acts chapter 8, verse 11, the word translated sorceries is from the Greek word magia, which also means magic arts or sorceries. In the book of Revelation, the book addressed to the generation that would witness its unfolding, we find 2 remaining references to sorceries. Revelation chapter 18 verse 23 tells us, "And the light of a candle shall shine no more at all in thee, and the voice of the bridegroom and the bride shall be heard no more at all in thee. For thy merchants were the great men of the earth, for by thy sorceries were all nations deceived." Revelation 9:21 gives the reason for the unfolding judgments against an unrepentant and Christ-rejecting world. "Neither repented they of their murders, nor of their sorceries, nor of their fornications, nor of their thefts." The word translated sorceries in the book for the last days isn't translated from magia, meaning magic arts, as it is in Acts chapter 8, verse 11, but uniquely in the book composed for the generation that would experience its contents. The word translated sorceries comes from the Greek word pharmakia, from which we get our English word pharmacy. Pharmakia means the use or administration of drugs. It's clear that if John intended to imply that the thefts, fornications, and so forth were the result of magic or witchcraft, he would have used a word that means magic or witchcraft. But in all the Scripture, the only place where sorceries is translated from pharmakia is in the book addressed to the last generation. Note the context of the sorceries that bewitched the last generation before the return of Christ. Deception, murder, fornication, and theft. Compare that to the handmaidens of drug abuse. One cannot illegally use drugs and admit it openly. So a drug abuser lives, by definition, a life of deception and lies. The arguments in favor of legalizing marijuana are clearly deceptive. Illegal drugs are expensive, and the vast majority of prostitutes are drug abusers who sell themselves to support their drug habits. Most drug addicts who are not prostitutes are thieves who steal to support their drug habits. Drugs and drug gangs are responsible for uncounted robberies and murders annually. Allow yourself to think about this for a moment. It is truly amazing. 2,000 years ago, the Apostle John predicted that the last generation before Christ's return would be infected by rampant drug abuse. That abuse would result in widespread deception, murder, sexual immorality, and theft, and that the nations of the world would eventually embrace it. We're getting close, folks, because drugs are becoming more rampant all the time.